Welcome to another evening of Winter Derby. We're going to watch a top 8 match between Rob and Parker today. With me again is Koos. Koos, welcome.
Thank you very much, Timmy.
Thank you for joining me again. It's much more fun to do this together than on my own. Uh, we have 2 decks. We've got a top 8. Maybe we start by just by looking at the decks and quickly discuss them before the players are going to start. So Parker is our number one seed, right? I have it now in front of me on the stream. So what can you say about this deck?
So first, it looks like a line dip bolt deck, a classic line dip bolt deck. But at a closer look, you can see there is no surrender befriends. So he chose to take a little bit more controlling stance, and yeah, actually so instead of the surrender befriends, Parker chose to add a Sarah Angel main deck, a Balance, a Suchi, and a Sarah Armageddon.
Oh yeah, there are no
Um,
Serendips in here.
no Serendips. That's interesting.
Because
Um,
besides that, it really reminds me of the decks we've already seen, and also kind of the deck you were playing, right? Has a
Absolutely.
yeah, has a lot of similarities. So that strategy of just getting your creatures out early, having a lot of direct damage, just a lot of pressure. But
So
then
when you see the 12 burn spells, the four chain lightnings, the four lightning bolts, the four psionic blast, you almost automatically expect the surrender befriends, but they're not
exactly,
in here. Yeah.
yeah, nice. What do you think about that?
Well, he is number one seed, so apparently it worked really well.
You made a really good
Interesting.
choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And the two counter spells are kind of new in a line dip bolt deck normally. So very curious how it unfolds in
Yeah,
this
because
matchup.
I guess in certain, especially when a lot of opponents play with the Serendip as well, you can have kind of the stalemate, and I guess the Serendip can start working against you. Also having the Psionic Blast hurting yourself as well. Maybe some City of
Absolutely.
Brass damage. It adds up quite
For City
quickly.
of Brass, 100%. Absolutely.
Okay, let's take a look at the deck of Parker here,
Yeah.
and he is
Of
playing with
Rob.
Serendips, and but he's not
Rob is
playing.
pl-
Sorry, Rob. Yeah, sorry.
Rob is playing. Actually, Rob is playing what we in Europe would call an Alban Louter deck, but he changed a few things. So there are no Sonic Blast in this deck, what you normally see, and two power sinks. But he chose to play a little bit more lands, play a Spirit Link main deck, very interesting. Could be very good against 12 burn spells. And a main deck control magic, very interesting.
Yeah, because that's something I wanted to ask you about. I'm now seeing so much burn in the Winter Derby that I'm wondering like maybe life gain needs to come back, and you see it here in the deck in the form of Spirit Link. I was even thinking maybe Healing Solve in the sideboard or something because it does counter a lightning bolt.
Yeah, I mean the Divine Offering is a very often played card
Yeah,
because of the
true.
live game. And here, if you look at Parker's deck, he has no source of plowshare. So if he can deploy a Spirit Link on, for example, a Sarah Angel, that could be really, really huge.
Ah, he's not, of course, because he's counting on the Psionic Blast to kind of deal with the 4 toughness creatures.
Exactly.
But if he doesn't
Yeah.
have it, really
Yeah.
nice. Okay, I think we've discussed the decks. I can see the players already, so I'm going to give them the
Cool.
sign. Nice. I'm looking forward to this.
Me too.
So Rob is from Canada. We just had a quick chat, and Parker is from New York.
Yeah.
Currently in Texas with his mom. He told us. So he took the deck with him.
So Parker can start because he's number one seed, of course, and I think they're ready to go.
How many counter spells did Rob play again?
Rob plays
Okay, wow, full
four
four.
count
Yeah,
spell.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's really
It's more a mid-range deck.
yeah. It looked more like, hey, I recognize it's more traditional.
Live totals very good. Good to see.
That
Very
helps.
clear.
Nice play mats. The Juzam and the Chaos Orb.
Old school iconics.
There we go.
Stars. All right.
It's an interesting cam setup with the colors, but it works. So we got Sapphire into City of
Demonic
Brass.
tutor.
Demonic. Would you just go in for Ancestral Recall?
A little bit depending on the hand, but normally I'd say Ancestral Recall is the best option.
It's your way to go.
Probably
Apologize.
passing the
I'm
turn
also
now.
drinking a beer, by the way, so you're going to hear that a little bit. Sorry for that.
No burping, Timmy.
Nope. Whoop. Let's see if we have some people in the chat with us today. Please let us know if the sound is good, if the image is good, if it all works.
Simon Christie calls it a classic Triforce 12-bolt deck. Interesting.
We need names for these decks actually, to be honest, because I'm now calling them line dip bolt. I don't know if how people feel about that name. So
Yeah.
maybe that would be a better name for it.
A Tundra for Rob, also a Mox.
And Hank's also in the chat with us.
Always good. He doesn't need a demonic shooter. He has the ancestral recall.
There he goes. So we've got 27 people in the chat, which is quite nice. Welcome everybody. Nice. Hopefully we're up for an exciting game. So Rob has filled his hand. I guess he's in the tank, as they say. Is he now in his discard phase?
Probably, yes. That is a risk of playing an ancestral main in your main phase, but I mean, Parker has 2 blue mana, so he cannot play it in the upkeep of Parker.
Exactly right. So it makes sense, this move, and of course
Absolutely.
It's still good. Still good. But you kind of hope to maybe find an extra mox so you don't have to discard. That would be ideal.
Or a Soul Ring.
Yeah. Black Lotus, even better because then you have counter magic up. Yeah, there's the
there you got
ancestral.
It. Yeah. So they're even now.
So I guess Parker could have waited for the upkeep of Rob just with the 1 blue, but
in theory, but he also wants to develop his board. So here it is exactly what he does.
Nice, a Soul Ring. And now we're not going to see the surrender because he's not playing with it.
Exactly. Would have been a good follow-up, but
next turn, if he can fight a white, we could see a Sarah Angel. Although he's only playing a one-off, right, in his main.
Parker's playing 1 Sarah Angel, yeah. And good to mention that we're in the quarterfinals of the Derby. And the winner of this match plays against Alexander, who beat me, unfortunately, in the semis.
What deck is he playing, Alexander? You can't remember. You've blocked
it's been a few days.
You blocked it out. You lost. But it wasn't a mirror match. He wasn't also playing.
No, it wasn't a mirror match. No.
Okay. Ooh, Rob really in the tank here. I mean, both players having a lot of cards after those ancestral recalls.
Yeah.
So this could go 2 ways, right? We can see this counter magic standstill where they both keep their mana open, just do land, draw, pass, land, draw, pass. Or Rob is now going to play something out and then, kind of forcing Parker to respond. So it's going to be interesting.
I think Parker needs to be a little bit more aggressive than Rob in this matchup. No, I mean, Rob has to be a little bit more aggressive because Parker has all the burns, so Parker can just wait.
So
as long as Rob doesn't
like, I'm just going to burn him out, whatever.
Exactly, he doesn't have to necessarily play a threat, and Rob has to eventually.
Because you would think the player with 4 counterspells has more reason to sit back, but you're turning that philosophy around. So we see.
All right, this is a threat for Rob.
Savannah Lions.
A lot of Savannah Lions.
So would you bolt this on the spot, or would you say I'm gonna wait? I've got my Mishra's Factory anyway, or say bolt.
If you have a removal spell, you kill it end of turn. Yeah.
Okay. Also, because now you have an opening with your factory.
You can do more in your own turn. So you have the black mana now. If you, for example, do have a Mind Twist, you can have Sarah Angel. So yeah, therefore you absolutely do it end of turn.
So you get rid of a threat and you have an extra mana. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly.
What are we gonna see? He's got 1 Suchi. He's got a Sarah Angel. He's got 4 lions. Those are the creatures, right? And of course the factories. Okay, there's the other factory. Nice signed copies.
Absolutely.
Double anim? No, of course not. Summoning Sickness. Just animating the one.
It is a signaling, probably a counterspell. He needs his 2 blue.
Let's see what's gonna happen.
Rob doesn't have a white for disenchant, and not going to
Yeah,
sacrifice the Black Lotus to cast a disenchant on the factory. So I think this is a good attack from Parker.
that's a good point. It's almost a free attack, isn't it? You can also
I
just
think so.
pop it,
Yes.
deal 3. He's not doing it. Does that mean that he's got
All
another
right. What
option?
does that mean? What does it mean? He has a Psyblast, probably.
Ah, yeah. So he's
But on
gonna
the other hand, if he did had that, he didn't necessarily have to tap his Soul Ring. But probably a counterspell and a Psyblast.
exactly because then for the counterspell you want to have your 2 blue open. Underground Sea. So not much going on for Rob at the moment. He's moving the Black Lotus,
Yeah, something happening.
tapping
5
5.
mana, Sarah Angel. All
Are we going
right.
to see a counterspell? I mean, this is. Do you think I probably has counter backup?
He is signaling a counterspell. Absolutely.
But I think if
So,
you're Parker and you have counter magic, you got to try here, right?
I mean, he has to get rid of the Sarah. So if he did have Psionic Blast, he couldn't do it end of turn because he couldn't counter the counterspell of Rob.
Ah, so then maybe he's going to wait, hopefully find another blue, so he can now play the Psionic Blast with counter backup.
Probably
Okay,
because he
okay.
absolutely has to get rid of the Sarah Angel.
I can
There is
see.
the
I can
blue.
see why you win a lot of tournaments, Koos. I'm like, get rid of the thing right now. That's really stupid. I love it. I
Let's see
love
what
it.
happens if it's
Yeah, let's see what happens.
2 mana.
Time
Sidewalk.
walk.
It's a good
Okay.
one.
But then if it's yeah, is he trying to
Could
bait
be.
out the counterspell?
Yeah, you would never. Yeah, yeah. I think you would never counter this time walk here.
No, because you could still. But I wonder if he's now in his turn still. Yeah, it looks like he's going to try out the Psionic Blast. So I guess he didn't have a
Ooh,
counterspell in hand to back it up, or else he would have
no,
done
no.
oh a
Oh, Wheel of
wheel.
Fortune. That's
Okay,
something
wow,
else.
and
Interesting.
that makes a time walk a lot better. He would see counterspell.
Maybe this was the bait, Timmy. So I think what we now see is he untaps with a time walk and probably does something even more powerful than a wheel. That could be the strategy.
Next level stuff. So there's the volcanic. How many cards does he have?
Probably still a lot. I mean,
Ooh, he's gonna attack with both. So kind of signaling to have a bolt, right?
yeah, absolutely.
I
Rob
think I
cannot block. Rob cannot block, I think.
because his Sarah is just so good. You just rather take the damage.
Yeah,
He's on 18 still. Yeah, so he's gonna drop.
what's going to be the follow up?
Double bolt perhaps here? No, Sonic
Psionic
Blast.
Blast.
No!
No, Time Twister.
Time
Crazy.
Twister. I like how Park keeps doing other stuff that we think he's gonna do. I
And the
like it.
Bolt. All right, all right. So this is what happened. Parker is a little bit behind because the Sarah is on the board and he needs to get rid of it. He loses the race if Sarah stays alive. So he has to be aggressive with draw sevens, apparently. That's his strategy at the moment,
Yeah, and I
I
mean
think.
Rob's now already on 11, so
That's
it
true.
could work. I think if I would have been Parker, and if I would have had like one red open still, I would have done the bolt on the Sarah, right? Kind of hoping or assuming that I would draw into another bolt or chain. But since he doesn't have the mana, I guess this is the better option,
I think so too.
putting
And
Rob on
remember,
11.
next turn he attacks with 2 factories. Rob is down to 9, and then he only needs 3 bolts.
Yeah, yeah,
So
it goes quick.
important, important what they draw, of course.
But very explosive turns here, right? Like we had the time walk, then we had the wheel. The wheel got countered. Then he took
And
the
the
extra
twister.
turn, then went the time twister. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
I think I can put the volume on a little bit of the players.
All right, middle's always good. Okay. A fresh 7 cards. Here we go.
He's trying something out. Yes, they're gonna draw their 7.
Pass.
I mean, this is so risky, right? Rob's untapping, 7 cards in hand. He's got the Sarah Angel. It's looking really good for
He
him.
forced me into a keep. Oh, that was a pretty good keep he forced me into. Off the top here. All right, we got Sapphire.
This is his moment to do something really spectacular. Absolutely.
Thinking. We've got to think. We've got.
I mean, if he
Savannah Lions.
Alliance,
But
okay.
does he have to do so? He could just keep counter magic open, have a disenchant open. I guess he doesn't because he tapped the white.
Oh, this is huge.
time
This
walk.
is huge. This is huge. That's
So
10
he's gonna-
damage.
Okay.
Exactly.
That looks
Thinking.
So he's going to attack with Sarah, put him on 13, and then just
We're
start his
gonna
whole turn
swing
all
with
over
the
again.
Angel for 4.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, that is huge.
Ideal.
3, 4, 5, and go to the time walk turn.
This is why draw 7s are so risky.
Drawing
If you
card.
let your opponent untap, and I mean, I think it was a good decision, but you know what I mean. You have this
Yeah,
momentum for your
yeah, I know.
opponent.
Yeah.
You've got a full grip here, which is pretty scary.
Parker is, I mean, Rob is pretty far ahead, I would say, at the moment.
Yeah, it's looking so good. And
What do I
Just
Again, Andy's
imagine he has the Spirit Link now, Timmy, and he puts it on the
Oh.
Sarah Angel.
I like the Spirit Link.
thinking for a moment?
Maybe I should give that card another try.
Can the lion attack is really the question. Or
So he's
does he
thinking
wanna
about
just
if he wants to
block
attack with the lion.
factories? If I attack now.
Oh, you 100% do that, I
6,
think.
what you did.
Well,
Right.
no.
Yeah, he's thinking about maybe having the lion on blocking duty, so he doesn't have to block with the angel, and he doesn't take 4.
It's not a good way to go. All right, fuck it. Let's swing with just the angel.
So he's gonna go with
Okay.
just the angel.
Just the Angel. 9, it's a
Close combat.
3-turn clock.
I don't think I can really do much here. I'm gonna pass it back to you.
Yeah, and he's passing here. So I mean,
Otherwise, you would have had a 2-turn clock.
6 cards.
I mean, if you just attack with the Sarah.
yeah, 'cause he would be on. Yeah, he would be on 7, and still you need. True. Yeah, saves you a
Library?
turn. Ooh,
Library.
Loa.
Yeah.
Loa's good.
Yeah.
Good card.
Extra burn. I mean, if he now has a Psionic Blast, but probably doesn't resolve, because I mean, Rob has a full grip.
Rob
I
has
mean,
4 counter spells in his deck. I mean,
Life
he drew.
Looks so great for Parker if he can get rid of the Sarah.
That's
6 cards.
or a lot of burn,
Mhm.
or kill the Sarah. Burn to the face, I mean.
Yeah, he's on 11. Yeah.
If you had 2 bolts, Timmy, you'd kill the Sarah, right?
The problem is the counter magic, right, of Rob.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the easy thing here. I would first just attack and see what he does.
I mean, the line is not very obvious, I think. I mean, it depends so much on what Parker has in his hands.
What an interesting game 1. 9 for Parker, 11 for Rob. Parker's turn. Both players having a lot of cards in hand. Parker, I believe, 8 in hand even.
Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
And
that.
6 on the side of Rob. Oh, this is so like I can imagine that Parker needs to take his time here, because you have a full grip and you're so close to winning, but you can also lose very quickly with the Sarah still against you.
Psyblast, probably.
Is it coming? Do you think it'll get countered, Koos?
Depending on
Psyblast,
Rob's
Sarah.
hand, but
Eyebrows.
Rob needs a threat.
Sarah
So he's
Angel.
playing it on the Sarah.
Thinking.
Now it's
Also
Rob's
interesting
turn
in
to
it,
think.
exactly, yeah.
put you down to 7. Have there.
Yeah, because he hurts himself as well, and of course Rob is also playing with Psionic Blasts.
Yeah.
Let Sarah go. I'm gonna try this counterspell.
He does
Yeah.
counter it. So then it's probably what the Sarah Angel was the target.
Yeah, the Sarah was the target. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the counter
What do we
spell.
see now? Parker has 2 counterspells main deck.
I mean, he was kind of going for it with the volcanics, but is he bluffing or does he really have it? That's also the question.
You have 4 cards left now? 5.
Yeah, I'm down to 5 card now.
Bluffing online is a little bit harder than
Yeah, then
a
in real
real
life,
tournament.
I think maybe for some it's easier to do it online because they cannot see your face.
Yeah, okay, that's also a good point.
It looks like he's gonna counter.
So
Mana drain, of course.
Cards in hand?
And then, okay.
6.
So now he's down on 6 cards.
If
so
he
we've
wants
got
an
the-
extra lower next turn, he cannot play any other spell this turn.
Counterspell.
That's a good point.
Um,
But I don't think you really need to play another spell necessarily because then you've killed the angel. Unless, of course,
sure,
Rob can counter
that will
this.
resolve. Mana drain's good.
Oh,
Alright.
it's gonna resolve.
Psyblast on
Sarah
Angel.
dies. Confirmation on the target, yeah. Sarah dies, so this is this is good for Parker.
Mhm.
This is huge.
No.
Oh, he's gonna attack.
Oh, he's gonna attack for 3.
Or not. No, he's gonna play something.
Mind Twist for two.
Mind
You
Twist.
did have the mind twist. Let me think. Let me think.
How do you feel about this, Koos? This is risky.
Mind twist.
Go
We of
to
course
6.
don't know what Parker has in his
You're
hands,
down to 5 cards in hand now.
but
Yes.
my instinct tells me I would not have played that Mind Twist, probably.
Also, because he now goes off the Loa clan. But then again, of course, I mean, it is.
That's the main reason.
Yes,
The main
that
reason. Yeah.
resolves.
Okay.
Okay.
What an interesting game.
Alright, you
I
got
like
1,
it. I
2,
like it a
3,
lot.
4,
Okay,
and
there he
5.
goes.
This is 5. This is 1.
Let's go with 3.
I keep number 3.
Yeah.
That's the one under the emerald. All right, you've got some
Alright.
picks here.
Oh, he had the mana drain,
What's
of
your
course.
bonus here?
We're forgetting the
Ring
mana
Dicer.
drain.
That's a huge card.
A disenchant and a sword.
Oh, he has the mana drain. Of
Yeah,
course.
he has the
That's
mana
stupid.
drain.
Yeah,
I
of
forgot
course,
about
of
that
course,
one.
of course.
I thought he played a Mind Twist for 2, but he's got the extra 2 added. from
Oh,
the
this
House
makes
Pass
100%
for 4.
sense.
Then it's
Alright, Jack.
a much
Of
better
course.
play.
Do it.
Yeah.
Untap, draw.
I was surprised
Draw,
already.
Sarah Angel.
Now it all makes sense. Oh, Sarah
That is
again.
a good top deck.
1, 2,
Wow.
3, 4, 5. I was really hoping on a white source there. Swing two.
Oh.
And 2 damage in.
This is horrible for Parker, this top
At
deck.
4, so Parker needs to get rid of the Sarah Angel this turn.
And now I'm wishing that I had attacked with that lion.
4 life. And actually, he's because I've put the volume on a little bit,
No
so I
cards
can
in hand,
also
right?
hear the comment. Rob saying, "I wish I had attack now with the lion." Earlier, I guess he's referring to the earlier moment in the game when
Yeah,
he could have
yeah,
attacked. Then he would have been on 2.
I'm on 10 for life.
Although, does that really matter? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, then he cannot side blast the
Sideblast the angel.
Yeah,
Look
it does
here,
matter.
exactly
Of
the 2
course,
damage.
it does matter.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference.
huge
Because of the
difference.
Silent Blast. Oh.
Yeah.
But hey, you cannot tell the future. There's another tap. Probably a bolt or a chain on the lion.
Bolt the lion.
On the probably on the this okay now
Now we can swing in for 4. Put him on 6.
yeah
I mean, it looks like the sensible thing to do, but maybe he's got better options.
Atog.
Ooh, Atog.
But he has to tap red mana for it, though.
That is not red mana.
Let's see, I've not played a land yet. I don't think.
Just gonna send him a quick message.
Plateau.
Ooh, red for the Atog.
Although we're
wait,
not judges,
ooh,
but
what?
Yeah, we're not,
Red
but this
mana
is
for
so
the
obvious. Yeah. Although I hope that they're not getting used to it.
No, I tapped the volcanic. Right?
You bolted the lion.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, red
Black.
with the
Yep.
um,
And one's on top. There we
yeah.
go.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Animate factory.
Yep. Take
Alright.
damage. 2.
It's always hard with these things because we're not judges and I don't want them to expect that we're
Okay.
gonna judge the
Looking
match. We're
good.
just
I
commentating
need
the match.
demonic tutor, time
Yeah.
twister,
Okay.
balance.
But
Swords
sometimes
and
one of these
Plowshares.
small mistakes can make such a big difference.
Let's see.
What is Rob looking for now?
Balance. No, that's not
For
gonna help
example, a
him.
balance.
Counterspell. Counterspell. Woo!
Yeah, but it's not even gonna help him.
One.
Down
Goes
to
to
one.
Oh, he's on one
Two
now.
life or one life doesn't matter for Parker.
No, and
I think you have lethal on deck too, right? 1, 2.
because of the ATOG, does he have lethal?
8. Very
Yeah.
good.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he does. Oh man, this was a really good
That went back and
first
forth.
game. Wow.
Absolutely.
That went really, really good. Ah, man, nice.
Wow. Interesting game one.
And now, of course, we're gonna have a look at the sideboards. Maybe starting with Parker here. Ooh.
He has some interesting sideboard cards.
So, what do we see? What would you board in? I'm just gonna give you all the hard questions.
What would you board in? Um,
So I see 4 statues, right? Jade statue.
4 statues.
I see 2 City in the Bottles, a Brain Geyser sideboard, a Sarah Angel sideboard, Divine Offering, Disenchant, a Disintegrate, and the other one I cannot identify. Can you see what that is?
Um,
And then we see an Earthquake and 2 Shatter Storms, I believe. Perhaps
I
that's
think
also
there's another
Disintegrate.
disintegrate. I think it's 2 disintegrate.
Would you
So
board in
what?
an extra Sarah?
Let's see. I think so, yes. Sarah Angel's good. Well, the Jade statue is probably not going to go in. City in a Bottle is not going to go in, I think. I mean, Parker told us that he wants his opponents to play Surrender Befried. So,
Yeah, because they're hurting themselves.
exactly. Not going to bring in Divine Offering, I think.
No,
The
you can even.
Disenchant could go in for, of course, Factories, but also Spirit Link. Control Magic is a huge card.
Yeah,
Could be an
true.
option for
Playing Control
Parker.
Magics, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Not that much to bring in, I think, for Parker.
Yeah, let's take a look at yeah, so that's Parker's list. Let's take a look at the deck of Rob and his sideboard. What can he do? Of course, Blue Elemental Blast. He's got 3 of those.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't board all 3 in, but
Maybe 1 or
um,
2, and then you Divine Offering doesn't really have a target, right?
oh, wait a second. He has 2 ATOG as well. So, yeah, Blue Elemental Blast is really good here. He has the Cobb Red, so he probably brings that in too. I mean, if you have the Cobb Red, it's probably for the Lion Dip Bolt deck, I assume, especially with ATOG. What would you take out
Yeah,
if you were Rob?
it's never really my favorite, like the Circle of Protections. But yeah, he's got it in his sideboard for a reason, so I guess he would.
Yeah, I mean, mono red is not a deck really, but so
I think I
probably gonna board it in here.
could take.
What would you take?
Yeah, Disenchant, I guess. Go for 3 Disenchants.
Disenchant, go. Yeah, I think so too.
Then it gets a little bit harder.
Then it does get a little bit harder.
You could say the Time Twister because you don't want to give your opponent more burn, right? And you're probably going to be under pressure, even though Time Twister is also good in his
That's
deck.
a good point. That's a good point.
And you have to make these choices.
And also interesting to see that Parker doesn't play any red blast in his sideboard, although he has a lot of red cards. So, yeah, therefore the Brain Geyser I would keep it in.
That
Probably
is
cut a few
interesting,
Disenchants.
that Rob doesn't play Red Elemental Blast. Sorry, Parker.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah. That is
Love to hear his thoughts on that after this match.
fascinating. And he's got like 2 Control Magics that are not going in.
Control Magic
Or would you
for
put it?
Rob. I
They're not
mean,
really good targets.
you're right. You're right. No, they're not going to go in. So I don't think that they have a lot of cards to bring in.
Do you know, I totally missed the ATOGs in this list. Now I see them, now that I know they're there, but I missed that in Parker's
Yeah,
list completely.
in your mind, it's such a classic line de bold deck, but if you look closer, it's very interesting. Also with the one-off Suchi, the two counter spells.
And I think his deck kind of proves what we've seen before, that it's good to play a certain amount of one-offs, right? Because it gives you these extra options that it's really hard for your opponent to yeah to anticipate. That's the word I'm looking for. To anticipate on,
Absolutely.
right? That one
Rob has taken
Armageddon.
a mulligan. Rob has taken a mulligan.
Oh, that's always, if you have an ancestral recall, you take a mulligan. It's like, it feels so bad.
Yeah, but if you don't have lands, you probably have seven good cards.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah, that
all.
is true. You're right. It's a good point. But still,
And also
uh,
one more small thing about the sideboard. I mean, the four Jade statue, they are great if you don't know what the opponent has in a sideboard. But with open deck list in the top 16,
yeah,
maybe a little bit less good.
yeah. So the
But
Jade can surprise you. Yeah, and definitely, I think with the open list is less good, because then if they see it coming, they're gonna board in Divine Offerings. You're basically giving your opponent life.
I think Parker is keeping.
And of course, Rob is on the play here. Parker winning that first one.
But Timmy, just I mean, Parker is was number one overall, and look at all the spice cards in his deck. I mean, it's good to see with a four Jade statue and a
Yeah,
pretty creative build. I'd say
that's positive for sure. Because I have to, when I looked at both the decks, especially I thought, oh, line did bolt, and then you look closer and you see all these like subtle differences. It's yeah, made me smile.
absolutely.
And I also like
All
that.
right,
Oh, you see it more often lately. Is that the ATOG is kind of not built around, but just used as a creature that's very useful in the deck. Ooh,
exactly.
good
We
opening
have a
here, right?
time walk for Rob. Turn one.
That means he's got counter magic online now, probably playing second blue. No,
Could play a Serendip now. Would be really good. No threats.
guess he
Okay,
doesn't have it. No lion.
three cards left.
Yeah, he took, of course, the mulligan, and he's on the play.
Yeah,
There we see Parker still on 7, of course, after the volcanic, passing the turn.
no, you cannot attack with a
Right,
factory here.
exactly. It'll probably get toasted. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah, you're behind in cards, so you don't want to trade one for one at this moment, I think. Ooh, okay,
He is
interesting.
doing it. There's the bolt. Ooh.
Okay,
Maybe he's thinking that's a bolt less. I'm more in the control scenario, but I think the worst thing for
could be
Rob
he
here
has a
is
balance in his hand.
oh yeah, good point. I think the worst thing for Rob here is missing that land drop, unless he's got the
There it
balance.
is.
Underground Sea, asking for a card count.
Six cards.
And you are looking at double blue now, of course, for Parker. There's the
Potential
demonic. Will
counterspell.
it resolve?
I mean, he's probably going to get ancestral.
Right? You want to refill your hands. You kind of have to.
Yeah, but would you play it now or would you play it at the
Uh,
moment that Parker's playing a threat?
yeah, good point. It's
I
probably
mean,
better to
he
wait for Parker to play something out.
on the other hand, he doesn't have red blast. He has only two counterspell and a mana drain.
Yeah.
You cannot wait too long. You're behind, so
But you've
I'd
already
probably
had
play it
your
here.
land drop, so that's not why you would do it.
Okay, pass the turn. Okay,
Guess he's going to do something in upkeep. Now he's going to play it. Oh!
upkeep. Okay, yeah, yeah,
There
yeah.
we go. Oh, this is
That
painful
is
for Rob.
unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. At least he waited until the upkeep. Now, he is 2 mana down. So that's something.
Yeah, that's something.
He cannot counter at least. Looks like he's going to take a walking away from the table, walking back to the table.
Probably a mailman.
So he's visiting his mom in Texas, which is kind of funny. So he took the deck with him, which I think
He's
is also
traveling,
cool,
right?
right? Yeah, which I think is also cool when you do these online things.
Yeah. Pearl, Jet.
Oh, tapping it. What are we gonna see? Are we gonna see demonic? Yep. Ay, ay,
All
ay,
right.
ay, ay. And now
Ancestral
he can
himself,
go for
probably.
exactly. He can ancestral. No counter magic open for Rob. And I'm not. I mean, it's not that I'm for Rob, but I'm always hoping for a third game. You know what I mean? And it's looking so
Yeah,
good already here for
we'd love to see a game
Parker.
three. Yeah.
Yeah, especially after that
So
first game was so close.
so that's, I believe, the fourth ancestral in 2 games, right?
You're right. Wow. Lots of ancestrals. And he's got the altered one, it seems.
Yeah.
There he goes, drawing 3.
Passing the turn.
Okay, mind twist. Okay.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That is
Mind
wow,
twist
that
for
is
4.
great for Rob. He needed this, right? He really
This
needed
is
this.
almost similar like game 1. Um, drawing cards, back and forth, mind twisting. Interesting.
He can only keep one, I believe. Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
middle. Let's see. What is he gonna
Let's see,
lose?
maybe mana drain. No sideboard cards yet.
So chain a mana drain. That's okay.
Yeah, that's good. But
There's
there's
a
a
lion.
threat.
Okay.
They're both at 20 still. Rob does need a threat too.
But it's not the worst.
It's not the worst now.
There's the jet. Oh, Brain Geyser. Will it resolve? This can give him the game if it resolves. Oh.
I mean, Parker already used 2 out of his 3, or has 2 out of his 3.
Yeah, so this would be his
counterspells in
last
his
counter
graveyard.
spell, right? He's
So
gonna do something.
last. All right. You feel about that?
Um, I don't think I would have done it, but maybe he's obviously he's hoping to top deck a draw 7 then, Parker. But
Yeah.
how do you feel? Would you do it or?
Well, if Rob has a Sarah Angel next turn, I think you want an answer for that.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It looked almost more like a reflex. Like, oh man, you've hurt me so much. I'm gonna do something back. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Take
Exactly.
4.
Eye for an eye.
Yeah. Oh, it would be cool to see eye for an eye. I have a white weenie deck with I just put eye for an eye there in there because usually you get really
Classic.
close, right? And then your opponent thinks, oh, you don't have direct damage anyway. It swings in, and
Yeah.
sometimes it gives me the win.
Cool card.
Sometimes. So we got the Lotus, cracking the Lotus. There's
Cop
the
red.
CLP
He
red.
did bring it in,
And he's
and the
got-
Chaos Orb.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rob is still at 18, and he has so much mana that the cop is actually pretty good here, I'd say.
Yeah, so Rob is on 14. And Parker.
Wow,
Oh,
what is
wheel!
going on?
I love
We
this,
see
man. I love
everything.
this game. This is fantastic.
Wow.
This is
This
great.
this is why people play old school Magic, right?
Yeah, this is an advertisement for.
You
for
won't
old school
see this
Magic.
in Legacy or any other format.
And this is also we're in Spike territory, and still you see these really cool games.
Absolutely.
You know, love it.
I mean,
Absolutely love it.
Look at the power cards, and then you have a Savannah Alliance. I mean, the creatures versus the powerful spells in old school. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's ridiculous,
Love it.
right?
Love it. Love it.
That's why the line's so good. It's only 1 mana, so you keep everything open to do all your other nonsense, and it can still hit for 2.
Yeah.
It's the only playable vanilla creature, right? In old school, like truly playable. For me, the next one, or maybe it's nice to first that you think. What's your next one after Savannah Alliance?
A vanilla creature.
Yeah. So not even with flying, eh? So just
No. Murphy of the Pearl Trident? I don't know.
that's a good point. Yeah, you see Murphy of the Pearl Trident, then you could say no Mons Goblin Raiders you never see. But
Air
sec-
Elemental?
Yeah, but it is flying.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. I
Black
mean,
Lotus or
if you add flying creatures, air elemental definitely. Yeah, here's the Black Lotus. Ooh. So he is very
Bolt.
quickly going off the Loa plan, by the way.
He
Like,
has to do it now. Yeah. I mean, this is his window to.
yeah, because of Cop Red, of course. Took me a moment. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. He's on 8. What a game. What a
What a
game.
game. Beautiful.
He wanted to do something, change his mind. I mean, if you're Rob, it's also not great because you're now on 8 and you know your opponent has all these Psionic Blasts,
Yes.
and he only played one out so far. So now that Psionic Blast was a good play after, he found the wheel.
In hindsight, absolutely. Not knowing he had the Cub Red, not Alliance. Yeah, this is also good. Just more threats on the table.
Yeah, and of course,
Um,
Rob can flip on one line and block the other with the factory. I think if you're Rob, right, you just want to make sure you don't take any more damage from this point.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, you don't want to get, this is too low already. This turn is going to be so important. Would you, if just assume that he doesn't have any better options, would you then flip now or wait for a Parker's turn before you flip, like on a line?
I would wait
Okay,
because if Parker has the disenchant, then he
mhm.
doesn't kill your
He's goes for
cop
the cop red.
and he
Oh,
doesn't kill
yeah,
your factory.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Good point. There's so many other good targets, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I would wait.
So you want to make it difficult for him. Yeah, it makes sense.
But what one small thing about Cobred, I mean, uh, if you play against Cobred, you wait until they used all their mana and then still fire your burn spells, and that's exactly what happened now. Even with the 6/7 mana that Rob has, um, that is a risk of.
Yeah, that's the thing with these circle of protections, right? You're kind of holding yourself hostage because you constantly have to keep the
Yeah,
mana open for what if. It's actually the same when your opponent has been having a Loa for a while and you're finally able to destroy it. You know that then the next turn your opponent's going to play out his whole hand.
exactly. Yeah, then you get all they puke out all their good cards.
Exactly. Like, I need to get rid of it because it's so effing good. But if I get rid of it,
Yeah, all this effort to get rid of the library, and then you have to get rid of all the threats.
yeah, it's like the game then starts again almost. But let's see, Rob. What are you gonna
Let's
do?
see.
Ay, ay,
So
ay, ay,
Rob
ay.
really needs something to put pressure on Parker.
He's fighting for his survival.
So
Needs to
his
win this
best
game.
card would be a Sarah Angel for sure, I think.
Yeah, and then you still have 2 mana open.
Yeah, two blue probably, or a factory, depending on your hand. I mean, yeah, okay. Looks like he's separating 5 mana sources from the other two, so it could indicate a Sarah Angel. And it's no time to bluff at this moment for Rob. So if
No,
he has
because
a counter
he's
spell,
stepped out anyway.
exactly. So if he has a counter spell, he leaves up two blue. If he doesn't have the counter spell, he just leaves up his factory and another
Yeah.
mana source. No time to bluff here.
But if he plays Sarah and then his plan is to animate the factory to block a line, then of course he's got that issue again that you no longer have the COP red mana.
True. Yeah, good point.
So, difficult. But hey, if you've got the Sarah,
Difficult,
you're gonna play
absolutely.
it out, right?
And he's on 8, so you probably yeah, interesting.
Because Sarah also blocks a line, takes down a line.
Yeah,
So in that scenario, you could even consider playing your Sarah, use it to block, use your Chaos Orb on another line, and at least keep 1 mana open for the COP red.
that's I think the best line. I mean, he has no red mana untapped, so you're not afraid. Oh, next turn, of course, yeah.
Yeah, next
Stupid.
turn. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
when
yeah.
he's gonna. If he has a Sarah,
Yeah.
we don't know.
We don't know, but he has something. That's
He's put those 4 mana together there. He's got a plan with it, and if that fifth one is part of the plan, we don't know.
4 mana. What can he do with 4 mana?
Control
I
magic,
mean, control magic.
right? He could go control for a lion, block line on
Yeah,
line.
but
Oh
it
no, but
doesn't.
there's not 2 blue there. Yeah,
There's not two blue. I think he 4 mana. What would
and
that
he
be?
probably boarded. He didn't board in control magics. Probably not.
4 mana could be a surrender befried with a spirit link.
That would be really good. Wow. Spirit link, just a spirit link on a creature would be great for Rob.
Yeah.
Earthquake for 1 would be nice.
Rob doesn't play
Oh,
earthquake.
of course, Rob doesn't play red.
No,
Yeah, I
no,
was
no.
looking at the ruby. Parker has the red. Yeah.
Parker play. Another factory. 5 mana.
Ooh, so that's why he put the
Sarah,
4 there.
Sarah
Because he
Angel.
didn't play a land
Sarah
yet.
Angel.
Ooh, changes. Yeah, okay.
This is not too white, so this cannot be a Sarah Angel. Recall for 2.
Recall.
Yeah. He brought a recall in.
Wow.
Okay, interesting.
There's a
Maybe
lot of good
because,
stuff in the bin, I think.
yeah, he probably also recognized that Parker didn't have any red blast, so recall is pretty safe to play. And I think it's
actually
really good here.
really nice for Rob to kind of see, hey, he doesn't have a red blast, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't have open sideboards, he would have never boarded that recall in.
No, it's interesting. Oh, and now he can go for time
Time
walk.
walk.
Oh, yeah, of course.
This
So
is
he can
good.
go ancestral recall. He can go time walk, living the life. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, this is also a very, very nice game.
And what I like is we're constantly talking about scenarios, and then the players do something completely different.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Because we both didn't think about the recall, and coming in from the sideboard.
All right.
Or is he? No, he's playing recall main, I assume, or not?
No, he's playing
is.
1 in the
Oh,
sideboard.
it is in the sideboard. Wow.
Oh, he really boarded it in.
I've never thought of recall as a sideboard card.
For the more controlling matchups. So normally it's not against this type of deck, but
yeah, because he doesn't have the red blasts. Yeah.
yeah,
And he can get the power back. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, maybe I should play it in the side. Making notes here.
Always a good idea.
Right? I'm trying to make Timmy spellbook better. So we see Savannah lines here. This makes this recall changed the game again for Rob.
Absolutely.
There have been so many moments for him where, I thought he was toast, but then he had the Mind Twist play, he had the Brain Geyser play, and now he's got this moment with the recall.
Yeah, there was some strong turns, let's say.
But he needed them as well, because his beginning was crap, was really bad.
He's attacking. Wow, he's getting aggressive.
Ooh.
Look at this. He's confident.
Yeah, right? He's like, passing the turn. Like, go ahead now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking.
So Parker's on 3 cards now.
How many cards does Rob have?
After the Ancestral, probably a lot.
It's hard to see. I don't think it's that. Okay,
Oh,
he's
he's-
asking now. Okay, nice. They're listening to us.
6.
6. Oh, that is a lot. And I think Rob has hardly played any counter magic, right? So it's all still in there. And he's got enough mana for COP red. It's looking-
Well, the question is, Timmy, if he kept in his counter spells. I mean, it's in the end just a 1-for-1.
That is a good point. Yeah.
And it could be too reactive. So that is
a very good point. And you got to take cards out. And yeah,
you cannot sit back all day.
no.
And
Would you, against these decks, like these aggressive decks like that Parker's playing, would you then board out some counter magic if you're playing 4 and a mana drain? Because it's a good point.
yeah, I
to
mean,
make.
you have the cob red that can be. I mean, now you can counter any cards that kill the cob red with this amount of. Only you cannot counter. No, Yeah, it's reasonable to board out.
Yeah, maybe you could say I'm going to keep like 3 or something, going to board out 2. You don't have to
3 or
board them
2,
all
yeah,
out.
sure.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good point because you're under pressure so quick, you have to act. So all those counter spells are just in your hand. You keep tapping out to do stuff.
Yeah,
And yeah, the one
he
for
has to be a
ones are
little bit
really
more
not good.
proactive.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he doesn't have that many proactive cards in the sideboard. So, uh, yeah, well,
Options, options, options.
options, yeah. Interesting to hear afterwards
And again, that's
what
the
they opted
difference
to do.
with the open deck list. They probably already thought about it.
Oh, 100%. They looked at each other's deck list before.
Right? And they made a sideboard plan.
Probably, yeah.
But still, that's a nice thing about Magic. It can go completely different as how you've like envisioned it or what is probable.
If you ask someone for advice for sideboarding, you probably always get some suggestions that you would have never done yourself. And Swords on
There's
Alliance.
hmm. Would you now? Is it Rob's turn now? By the way, stupid question, but I guess it is. Oh, he's gonna flip. Or is he doing this on end step? Probably. Right? He's gonna flip the Chaos Orb because I thought it was Parker's turn.
Could be his upkeep.
True.
All right.
He's gonna flip.
Hit.
Yeah. We couldn't really see it spin, but it makes sense with the way his camera is tilted. So
End
yeah,
of end of
line's gone.
end of Parker's turn. Yeah.
It's looking really good for Rob. Wow. Because Dan Parker did
Yeah.
basically he did nothing, right? He just passed the turn.
Yeah.
Now he can swing for 6, put him on 12.
Yeah. You.
Ooh.
I think Rob feels pretty confident at the moment.
He's
I
got
would
more
be.
cards, a better board state.
Yeah. And the Cobb Red is so probably at this moment the Cobb Red is just
Yeah, it's so good now, huh?
you can really rely on it now.
I mean, Time Twister would be really nice, right, for Parker, if it resolves.
Yeah, he needs some powerful spells. The wheel is already in the graveyard.
Yeah, and I believe the Twister's still in the deck, huh? There's City
For
of Brass.
Parker, yeah.
Yeah, for Parker, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Ooh, balance.
Balance.
Okay.
Now
That's
let's
fine.
see if he still has some counter spells.
Only 2 in hand. Or are we gonna see counter magic?
This, yeah.
I don't think so. It's counting as lands.
Yeah, no, probably no counter spell.
So we've got 5 lands on the side of Parker. We've got 2, 4, 6, 7 lands on the side of Rob. He's probably want to keep his factories, right?
And I mentioned that counter spell is just a 1-for-1, but this is the drawback of,
Yeah.
I mean, just assuming that he boarded a few counter spells out. That, I mean, Mind Twist and Balance and those cards are just backbreaking. But still, he has 2 factories. Yeah, right.
I wonder. He's going to put the volume of the players up a little bit again so we can hear their thoughts.
I'm okay with that balance happening. I'm going to respond though still.
Okay.
I will tap. Yeah, 1, 2 to Divine Offering your.
He brought in
Pearl.
Divine Offering.
Okay.
Interesting.
And thinking. You've played a land.
Yeah, that isn't because they're not
So
really
we'll go to.
a lot of good
He has the
targets
one
for
off
it.
Suchi if he left it in.
Care about the second one?
Yeah, I assumed actually that Parker would board it out, but we're going to hear after the match.
Okay,
That's going to be
balance is
interesting.
good. Balance says lands, then hand, then creature, right? So lands first.
So he also had a balance, it seems.
I have 5,
I think the chat is also really loving this game. This
4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, I guess
This
if
is
you,
great.
One,
yeah,
two, three,
51
four,
people in
five.
the chat, by the way. Quite
Do you mind if I
nice.
throw this last card? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
With the balance, because I'm gonna sack lands.
Another divine
So I'm gonna
offering.
go
So
like
he
this,
brought in at least 2
just
divine
throw a
offering.
divine offering at the Mox.
It's going to go on the
And
jet.
then 1, 2, 3. You have 7, you said?
I have
And alright.
5 lands,
5.
2 cards.
All right, so I got
So
rid of
if
2 lands. 1, 2,
if
3,
Parker
4,
has
5.
a follow-up, that would be
2
really,
cards.
really good.
Yep.
I'll get rid of a balance. And
Okay.
0
Or balance
creatures.
himself.
He's
Yes.
gone. Okay.
So then both players now have 2 cards in hand.
Yeah.
Still Parker's turn. It looks like he's going to
Having
play
some-
something.
Probably ATOG.
ATOG?
Yeah,
There's
there is
the
the
ATOG.
ATOG.
Um,
Not doing that much here. So the divine offerings, I mean,
you have no
they
artifacts in play?
they worked.
Sure.
Yeah,
ATOG's
they did
fine.
something now, right? It was quite nice because he had to discard them anyway, so at least he could respond.
Upkeep,
Take care
Exactly.
of them.
draw.
And he has the cop red, so the ATOG is not really a threat offensive for.
And then exactly, and the nice thing now is that he could just swing
And
in with the factories. He doesn't have to worry.
factories,
If the
I'll do
Moxon would have still
four.
been there, it would have been a different story.
I'll block 1.
Yeah, block 1.
Take 2.
Take 2, go to 10.
Yeah, I mean for Parker the ATOG is
Is it a volcanic artifice
pretty
beside the top
useless,
again?
you would say here. So
What
preventing
would
2
you,
damage is the
I'll
best
pass
it
with
can
2
do
hands.
here.
would you use the strip here? I guess Rob isn't, but
I don't know. No,
Factory.
I think exactly. This is why you
That's
want to
one.
keep the strip
yeah,
mine
because
for
now
an
you can take care of
opposing.
the factory. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Untap, upkeep, draw. 3 in hand.
and we probably see that happen now.
Go to combat, activate.
Or
both,
he probably has a disenchant
declare
or another
attackers,
divine offering in his hand.
declare those
Has to, right? Because why would you trade?
No blocks.
Oh, he would never trade.
Ooh, no
No.
blocks. Oh, just gonna drop
Okay,
here.
okay.
Pass with 3.
He's like, I'm not gonna give you a target. The next turn
If
is
he
probably
attacks-
gonna animate.
Strip mine.
Nice.
All right.
Ooh.
It's pretty good here.
But you wanted to, yeah, if he attacks, he can put him on 6.
Yeah, then I would strip,
Yeah, right. Then Rob would probably
not
strip him as
disenchant,
well.
because,
Factory.
for example, if he has a follow-up time twister
Pass.
and he can draw a few burn spells, then you're
Yeah.
then you have
Draw.
too low on mana to use the cop red. So,
Play a library.
but no attacks.
There's a Loa 3 in hand.
Go to combat, activate factory.
There he goes.
Sure.
Animating.
Animate my factory.
Yeah, because now it can pump
Before
itself.
blocks, they have effect.
Let's see what happens.
Before blocks, he has an effect, he says. So, yeah. Oh, he does strip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to pump mine?
Okay.
No, I'm alright.
All right. I'll pass to you. I got 3.
2 turn clock.
Oof, oof, oof. What a game 2. What a game 2. It's
Yeah,
still
I
not
mean,
over. I mean, he's just
Exactly.
on 8.
Let's see the counter spell.
Ooh,
Exactly.
Sir Angel.
This is one of the best cards that it
Sir
could have
Angel,
drawn.
this is huge.
None.
This could get him back if this resolves.
And it does resolve.
Oh, man. Big
This
sigh
game.
here from Rob, by the way.
Yeah,
It's like,
Pass.
wow.
Untap. And
Wow.
draw.
I mean, but he has probably a few side blasts. Swords of
Swords?
Plowshares.
Swords.
Okay.
8.
Go back up to 8.
There it
I mean,
is.
it's buying
There
him
it is.
time.
Activate.
He's doubled his life
factory.
from a 2-turn clock to a
Yes,
4-turn
combat
clock.
factory.
6.
2 or 3 turn clock now. Yeah.
Pass with
Oh, man.
Pass with 1.
I mean, normally Rob has it in the back, but hey,
Draw 4
the
cards.
top deck can make all the difference. And I
Activate
think you were right about the
Swords.
boarding, Koos. I think, okay, there's a bolt. Ooh,
Yeah.
Blue Blast? Oh, he
Oh,
does
he
have a counter spell.
It does have a
Counter
counter
spell.
spell.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
I'll go to 4.
Second main, I'll play
Maybe
land,
just top deck
and
the spell
pass.
count, or yeah, I don't know. Maybe he thought I have an answer for the Sarah. I'm not going to counter. I'm going to use it for something else. Makes sense as well, I guess. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, normally you would
if you,
not counter bolt on your factory, but in this position, I mean, Rob has to
yeah.
finish it as quick
No,
as possible.
I'm more meant. Do you think that when he
Take
had the
advantage.
swords in hand, he also had the
Brain
counterspell in
geyser,
hand?
I'll bring geyser myself.
Ooh.
huge brain geyser. So,
Cards in hand?
does he have another counterspell?
He does. Mana Drain. Now all the counterspells are coming to life.
Yeah,
Wow.
and a mana drain
Yeah.
is. Let's see if he can use the
Untap,
mana,
keep nothing,
but I
draw
don't
one,
think he
6
really
mana.
really
And then
needs it.
activate
But
him, holding priority,
he
activate
uses
him
it
2
to
more
activate a
times.
factory,
Pass priority, activate him 3 more times, and then once more.
and the
My
other
mana
5
burn,
mana will
so-
just
Yeah, no, it
dissolve.
doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's funny because
So-
he's saying he just keeps animating it because he doesn't want to. Just wants to use
Oh,
all
he thinks it's
his
mana burn. Yeah.
I think he knows it isn't, but just
You
he's
got
like,
it.
I'm a good wizard. I'm going to use all
Okay,
my mana.
oof, we got a game 3.
Oh, he had 2 more swords. Wow, but we are going to go to
I
game
think
3. This is
I
exciting.
Good,
went
good,
a little
good.
too
This is really
overzealous
nice.
with you being-
Now, my point with the angel, but now I see he had even more swords in hand, was if you would have a swords and a counterspell in hand at that stage in the game, and he plays the Sarah
Yeah.
Angel, do you think I'm not going to counter it because I have the answer? It does mean I need more time. But I'm gonna
100%.
keep- Okay, so you would say you keep the counterspell to protect your.
No, not necessarily to protect, but to just counter a more important spell.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, if you do counter the Sarah Angel and he plays a Brain Geyser next turn, then you have a Source of Plowshare. That's just, then you feel really stupid, I think.
Yeah, because the swords is useless. Then.
I think it's
Yeah.
a heuristic. Is that a good English word? That if you have a threat, or if you have an answer to a card, then you do not use Counterspell.
I would say it's a given then.
A given, all right.
Right? It's a given. Like it's a fact, right? It's a given that then you don't do that. Yeah.
I think so. yeah.
Nice, man. We're gonna get a game 3. I'm so happy. I really thought when they started, right? Parker was doing so well. I'm like, Rob's gone. This is 2-0. Pack our bags. Right? I'm happy.
And what do you think, Timmy? Would they change? Yeah, they're probably.
I am
mean,
not.
Rob is
This
changing
may
probably
sound
something.
strange, but I'm just not that impressed with the Cop Red. It did really well, I guess, but it's also because you can still play your direct damage on the creatures. But
That's
yeah,
true.
Yeah.
Rob
maybe I'm
is
wrong.
removing some cards.
I was
Could
thinking
be.
that maybe Rob took out his counterspells for blue blasts, but I didn't see them at all.
We didn't see them.
Doesn't mean they're not in.
No. And I mean, we did see one counterspell in the end, so he could have a mix of them.
I was really surprised with all that counter magic at the end because so many things got cast. I'm like, he's just not playing any counter spells anymore, and then all of a sudden, boom, counter spell, mana drain, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Oh, what
So
a,
what do
what
you
a
think
good
Rob
match.
would? Sorry.
Sorry, what you were asking? What do you think Rob would board in? Yeah, you're probably better at this
Probably.
than I
I
am.
mean, his divine offering were not that good in the end. So, and he probably felt that too, and could have opted to board the divine offerings out again, maybe one or. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he
Yeah,
has Silent Blast in his sideboard, and he saw Sarah Angel. So
he's got
maybe
2
that
silent
could be.
glass in the sideboard. Yeah,
Yeah, we don't know.
could be an option for sure. I didn't expect divine offering in there at all because if you look, I've got Rob's list now. If you're Rob, yeah. After seeing that cop red, would you maybe take out, let's say you boarded in a disintegrate, would you then board it out after seeing the cop red?
No.
Do you think he boarded in earthquake?
Um.
It only works against alliance.
Yeah, but it can also be a finisher.
Yeah, exactly. So it can do 2 things.
But yeah, on the other hand, I think there's not that many cards he can take out. So I think he has.
I would even, looking at his sideboard, would even consider for next build to add some Armageddons to the sideboard.
For
But
Parker.
It's a whole different discussion. Yeah, for Parker. Yeah.
Parker has one main board, of course.
Yeah, he plays 1 main. Yeah.
I mean, if you choose to put 4 Jade Statue in the sideboard,
That's
then
super
you lose
cool.
a few spots.
Yeah, and that's super cool. No,
That's
keep
super
them
cool.
there. Keep them there. I'm not going to
Absolutely.
discourage it. It's super cool. And I guess you're going to run into some decks with Wrath of Gods and stuff. you know. It's a very
Yeah.
popular card in X points, the Wrath of God. So it
I
does see
mean,
some more
uh,
play now
and also, I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to hear, but line dip bolt cannot get rid of it. I think
because of the 6 toughness. Yeah,
exactly.
that's why It Winifred is great, man. It Winifred Diamond Valley, what Martin does, it's great. I've got a video coming up where you see his deck playing
All right,
against a line dip bolt deck. It's glorious. It's glorious.
cool. Gonna
It's like
watch
the
it.
yeah. It's you see the true power of It Winifred and Diamond Valley. It's sick. I mean, I feel sorry for the opponent, but that's all in the future. So we've got Parker, of course, on the play. Does that also
Yeah.
make him the favorite?
Uh, favorite? Yeah, he's a little. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit, I think. Yeah,
I mean, he's got the faster deck and he's on the play. Starting with a
and
Sultan.
yeah,
Okay.
and he's more aggressive.
Bum, bum, bum. Sapphire, not too
Box
shabby.
Sapphire,
Underground Sea, counter, magic is
double
working.
blue.
Both players didn't take a mulligan, which is nice in the decisive match.
Yeah, Parker just
Or decisive game, I should say.
opening a second beer, I believe.
Yeah, I'm beginning to become a little Parker fan, actually. I'm liking his style. There's the City of Brass. Okay, what's gonna come, Koos?
3 mana, Wheel of Fortune. No, I don't know. ATOG. It's good.
Or are we gonna see a blue blast?
Or you can wait. I mean, if you have the blue blast, you probably. I mean, it's so
True.
good if he sacrifices some artifacts and then blue blast.
Also true.
Disenchant on the blue mox.
Ooh,
Yeah, interesting.
that is good. There we're gonna see
Slowing them
counterspell.
down. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, Disenchant is
Exactly.
not that good against Rob, and he just got rid of a counterspell.
I think if you're
That's
Parker, this is a win-win, right? It's like if it resolves, also
yeah,
good because I'm the faster player. If it doesn't, fine, you lose the
agree,
counterspell.
agree. So yeah,
It's interesting to see how quickly, like in every single game so far, Rob gets behind, right? And we've seen that he's able to come back. You
yeah,
know,
but that's also the nature of his deck in this matchup, I think. So
yeah.
Parker gets ahead earlier. He's a little bit more aggressive, and Rob is more mid range. So he stabilizes mid game. He tries to, and then take over late game or finish it mid game. But
That's
yeah,
the
this.
plan. It is nice to see
So
that, like that Rob Moore is a mid-range deck because there are a lot of aggressive decks right now in the top eight.
yeah, they are. There are a lot of line dipole decks. So probably no. Could that be that Rob has no land drop? Oh, there it
There
is.
we go. Yeah, he was taking his time, so I guess he had some more options. Oh, going for demonic.
Demonic shooter. We've seen this before.
We've seen a lot of demonics as well, by the way. A lot of ancestral recalls, a lot of demonics, a lot of draw
He's probably
sevens. I
already
love it.
already tapping his blue, or
Yeah,
not.
yeah. I think he is going for ancestral, refilling his hand.
Yeah, but he probably he plays it in his main phase. So he has 5 in his hand, so he goes up to 8.
Oh yeah.
So then he has to draw Mox or discard, I think.
Or is this a fifth card, ancestral recall? That could also be the case.
I
Okay, oh
believe
look
it.
at it.
Uh,
Oh yeah, he is.
Ancestral?
He is. You're right. So he's 5, so he goes to 8 now.
I think so. Yeah. All these ancestrals.
Yes, it's like there are 4 in each deck.
Rob drew 9 cards out of it from the ancestral this match so far.
Wow. Passing a turn, so I guess he's on 7 because he's not discarding.
Yeah. Hard to see with black sleeves on
Yeah,
top of each other.
leave it up to the players. Ay. There's a little free attack at least here for Parker.
Yeah.
Put him on 19.
Yeah, ATOG. If it was a 2/1 creature, it would have been so much better.
No, because then I can ping it with my Timmy, so that's fine. Make it a 2/1.
Agree.
But he is tapping the plateau.
Chain,
line.
yeah, you chain main board. Yeah.
What are we going to see for 3? More direct
Draw
damage?
7?
Yeah, it could be a draw 7 after playing the chain. Balance.
A balance,
Ooh.
interesting.
After the ancestral, yeah, makes sense. Skilling is on ATOG, but
The ATOG was not spectacular on this board. I think this is the trading for cards in Rob's hand is much better.
yeah. So basically, you're sacking your ATOG for how many cards is he losing? Like a lot.
5.
Wow.
I mean, if he had 7, then
Yeah.
this
so
is
this is a good play.
really good. Yeah.
That's why balance is so good. It can be so many things.
But it's never balanced, right?
Absolutely. Usually when I commentate on videos, you get to this point in the game where the opponent only has 1 out, and it's usually the balance. But then I realize, hey, he's not playing white, so
Oh yeah.
then I say he's looking for a green balance or red balance. But yeah, it kind of shows how good balance is. Ooh,
Oh my God!
twist.
All these powerful restricted
Ooh,
cards.
oh,
Time
time
Twister.
no.
Oh my God!
Oh,
my
I wanted
God.
to see that time twister. Oh.
But now they're empty-handed almost, and I mean the first one who deploys a threat. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course Rob still has 1 card in hand, right? 2 now after the draw. Ooh, there's a threat.
Yep. Wow, that's exactly what we're talking about.
The surrender. Oh, Parker in trouble. I mean, still at 18, so.
Yeah, but he needs a Psy Blast to kill it.
Ay, passing turn. There's the attack. Dropping to 15. Passing the turn. Oh, man. That is really tough. That mind twist. Pooh.
Yeah, but also that balance. And he has the Psy
Oh,
Blast.
Psy Blast. I'm happy. I don't want this match to end. It's too entertaining. So 2 damage, of course, as well for Parker, dropping to 12. 12 against 14.
Factory, another threat.
Is this, by the way, like the first surrender we've seen this match? We haven't seen a lot.
Absolutely. You're right. First surrender.
Crazy. What I find so interesting is, despite the fact that City in a Bottle is a super mean card and like too good in a lot of different ways, that you still see the Arabian Nights creatures, these top lists. They're just so good.
They're so good compared to the alpha beta creatures. Yeah.
Ooh.
Chaos
So
Orb.
both players looking for a threat. There's the Lion, maybe to bait out the Chaos Orb. A Bolt, though.
Yeah, I think they're both looking for a Sarah Angel.
And then, of course, the difference here that Parker has that Chaos Orb.
That's true.
Tapping
so
5.
Yeah, you would never.
Oh, there's the Sarah.
There.
Ay. Now Rob's in trouble. I mean, there's
Swords
Swords.
to Plowshares. Happy to trade that for Rob.
Swords is so good. 1 mana instant speed removal, insane.
Yeah.
And that's actually the life gain spell that a lot of players all have access to, and right, and sometimes also use it for life gain in certain matches.
For yourself, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah. I like it when you also play with control magic and swords.
Yeah.
You will see Divine
So
Offering.
He kept the Divine Offering.
He kept them in, and he's using them. So
yeah, it's good here.
Wow, the game's
Factory himself.
Quick. So both players having a factory at the moment. And of course, Rob still has summoning sickness, so he's probably going to take the damage or, you know, play a sword
If he
or
wants to
whatever.
trade, if Rob has lines, then
Ah,
I
there's
think I would trade here. I would attack with a factory.
right. So maybe. Oh,
Okay,
you
there.
mean
Look,
ooh?
there's a
There's a
Sarah Angel.
Sarah. Would you think if you would have been Parker the previous turn, first attack with the factory to see if he does the trade?
I think so, and then deploy
Yeah,
alliance,
yeah.
but it's a
Now it
small
doesn't matter
detail.
anymore.
No,
We'll get Sarah on
the
board.
Sarah Angel. That's huge. So Parker used already one Sonic Blast and looking for another one.
Chaos Orb's gone. Sunny Blast gone.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Let's
Sarah.
see.
Sarah
Maybe.
plays a big role. Ooh, he's gonna attack signaling to have a
Okay.
bolt.
Absolutely. But you have to do it.
I would animate like if you're Rob, animate factory. Try to block with it.
Um.
I think I wouldn't block with the Sarah Angel here.
No, you 100% don't block with Sarah Angel here. I mean, you're winning the race. Oh no, no, you don't.
Right?
But I would block with Factory here because if Parker has a bolt, then he has to spend it,
Exactly. Then he uses on the factory, which is not that bad.
and then you win the race because he doesn't have probably cannot attack next turn with two creatures without his bolt or chain lightning.
So very important moment. Yeah, I think he's gonna animate, right?
I think you have to. Ah, and he's
What do you think he's
would
thinking about?
well blocking with both creatures.
Hmm,
Could
very
that be?
risky. Very risky.
I'm not sure if he does that, but
And of course, if Parker wants to do something, he's got to do it. He has to say if it's going to be before block. So
he's tapping his red mana. Something is coming.
I don't want you to.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm gonna bolt it before you block.
There's the bolt.
okay, so he's
Yeah.
gonna.
I'll
Yeah,
pop it.
I
Yes, he's bolting the
swear
factory
you
there.
said like
Yeah.
factory. You drew the tundra
Now he can
last
block.
turn,
Would you
played
now
the
block with the Sarah?
and then you
Um.
I think it was the turn prior. Last turn. I mean,
I
you
think
could do it as
it's
a-
pretty.
you could ask the audience here.
Yeah, you
It's
you
hard,
lose
it's
the
pretty
race.
safe. It's pretty safe. So yeah,
Yeah, I
think
don't know
would.
if Timmy or Koos.
I think I
you guys
would
are
too.
listening. Can you confirm if we played the factory
Oh, he's
summoning sick? Did I play it last turn and the turn prior?
recurring his
I think you're asking
factory.
if the factory was summoning
Okay.
sick.
I'm gonna unmute Koos, unmute Timmy. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you guys. So you're asking if the factory was had summoning sickness. I think it
Correct.
didn't. I think it was the second turn. What do you think, Koos? Do you remember? Maybe people in the
I
chat can let us know.
I couldn't tell. Let's see what people in the chat say.
Let's see what the chat says. My memory was that I played it the turn prior, and I had the chance to activate an attack, but I didn't want to throw it into its own death, so I chose not to, of course.
Yeah, that was my memory as well. That this was the second turn you had it.
Yeah.
Ah, someone's
maybe
saying
what's
no. Okay, what? No, as in he couldn't pump it, or
No, it doesn't have summoning sick. Last turn, so
it's a great match, by the way. It's
Yeah, really.
it's so close.
crazy.
So
I
yeah,
mean,
this
regardless
person.
if you bolt it, it's gonna be the same thing, but it changes his line.
Yeah, here somebody says he played it last turn.
Something sick or no something sick?
Oh, he can pump. Yeah.
Okay.
I was
But
almost
that-
certain about that because I went factory before I had the tundra. The tundra followed the factory.
Okay, yeah, all right, my bad.
We're gonna mute you guys again.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
no worries.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm muted again. All right, so you're bolting it. It's gone. I'm gonna pump it in response because why not?
Mhm.
And Sarah is
It's
on her
it's
own.
always so hard, right? Because when they ask you and you think, I think, but it can be so decisive.
Yeah, I
So
wasn't sure. So
thank you for old MTG, and thank you Baptiste. He rewatched it. Thank you.
so look, Timmy, he did block with the Sarah Angel,
Oh
and
wow, that's probably also because, of course, in response to the animate, he plays the bolt. Yeah, and then he
look at
gets.
this, Timmy, a second Sarah Angel.
Oh, this is
So wow,
huge.
this is gigantic.
This is
This is almost impossible to beat for Parker, I'd
two
say.
turns. He's got 2 turns. He's already played out the balance.
Yeah, but he can absolutely
Oh man, he's gonna drop to 3.
with
Wow, wow, wow.
attack without tapping. Brain geyser,
Sarah Angel is so good. Such a good card.
unbelievable.
That's also what I love about old school is that a creature that doesn't have to tap when it attacks, it's like huge. Wow, it's so good.
Yeah,
Oh, and this Brain Geyser that's the insult over injury. Wow, wow, wow.
brain geyser for 4.
Yeah, I mean, he needs a miracle. Yep, that's it.
Wow, that's it. Unbelievable.
Oh man, amazing.
I mean, I guess you would have just bolted the Sarah, and I would have a second Sarah. That's all.
Yeah, I mean,
And the
That
factory
was-
would be alive too.
That was a great match.
I think I punted game 2 and maybe shouldn't have kept my hand game 3.
Oh, I should unmute these guys. Let's see.
Oh yeah,
Unmute.
Koos, turn your camera on, man. We want to see your face.
One moment, one moment. Okay, I got.
What a game!
And
Congratulations, Rob.
hey, there we go.
Fuck him.
Hey, thanks for. Whew.
Congratulations, Rob. Spectacular.
Thank you. What a match, though. Holy cow.
Unbelievable.
I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I mean, also
So many things happening.
game 2. I mean, Rob, I thought you were done for because Parker had such a good start. I was already talking. Oh, we're gonna have 2 games. That's such a shame because the game 1 was so nice, and then you started coming back and like, yeah. Can you maybe start with you, Rob, if you want to? Can you tell us about your sideboard?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to sideboard now. Just about there.
Yeah, of course.
One moment. I'll leave it on this before I flip my camera around. That way we can all see what's happening. All right, so game. There's 2. There's 3, 4,
Look at this.
7, 8. So this was this is game number 2, and this is game number 3. So the strategy was basically the same for both games. I really wanted Copper Red, obviously, because he has so many red things like Atogs and Bolts and Chain Lightnings. So I thought this would be like a pivotal card in the match. So that was like number 1 plan. Divine Offerings were just a strict upgrade to Disenchant because there's no enchantments to worry about.
All
And
right.
this was again Atog Assurance and potentially stopping a second Bolt on my 4 toughness guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like attacking with Lion, stop the Bolt. Recall for the long game, I figured this could be massive, which we saw in game 2.
Wow, that ancestral time walk you did with the recall.
Yeah.
Rob, quick question. Did
Yeah.
you board a recall in because you know that Parker didn't have any red blast, or was it just would you have boarded it in either way?
Good question. Definitely, because I was saying to Parker in our match there, I was really thankful that he didn't have red blasts.
I imagine, yeah.
Because that's terrifying. Like it's a lot harder for me to cast a 5-mana recall with a red blast. But recall, I think, just for like the mid and long game, as we kind of saw, if you can pull any of those bombs back, it can be so massive. And then the last game, I wanted Psy Blast because I saw Sarah Angel. I took out all my control magics. I can show what I took out. Took out all my control magics, and so I was like, "Fuck! If an Angel resolves, and I don't have swords, I want to have a way to kill, and also maybe if I can just get there for reach."
2 dips and a twister. Oh, right.
Yeah. Quick rational on what came out. He had bottles in his sideboard. I'm really curious to see, Parker, what you did. but I figured he's gonna bring in the bottles if he plays bottles because I've got 4 of those, 4 of those, so I've got 8 targets.
All right.
So
Yeah.
I took out 2 dibs because I still wanted pressure, and I took out 1 City of Brass because I didn't want him to. I'm taking damage anyway, so I don't want to kill myself. This was just too slow. I kind of wanted it, but I kind of didn't. It was awkward. I don't want to spend 4 mana on a lion, and then this was just helping him more, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
because he could
So,
find more burn with when you play the Twister. Yeah.
so game 2, Rob, we didn't see a counterspell for a long time. So we were talking, could he have boarded out his counterspells? But no, you did not. Okay.
I didn't. I had to keep them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our
They
reasoning
were.
was that maybe because Parker's deck goes quicker than yours, then the counterspell can be kind of clunky 1-for-1 trades. But it was really funny. I think it was in game 2, Koos, when all of a sudden you started playing your the counterspell mana drain. So we're like, oh, he does have counter magic still, because we
Yeah,
didn't see
exactly.
any
Yeah.
of it. Yeah, really is.
Yeah, one game I
Parker,
bluffed too. I had to bluff the one game, Parker. When I left, I said, "Okay, second main phase, 2 blue open."
Oh, I
Yeah,
figured
yeah.
mana drain there.
I didn't, but yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, we're going to second main, just in case you want to think I do."
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
Parker,
Parker.
how did you sideboard? What did you do?
So took out a Suchi and 1 disenchant for disintegrate and brain geyser. Did not bring in the bottles just because generally Serendib is fine. Like I don't mind you taking damage. Generally I can like race that if I have a lion, but yeah, just didn't come together.
And if I may ask, Parker, what's for what matchup would you bring in the city in the bottle?
So there was like a Arabian Nights sort of like stompy deck.
All
Yeah,
right.
like
Yeah.
Arabian
Like
Aggro. Yeah.
like Urnum. I think if there's like Urnum, then that generally comes in because that's a lot harder to deal with.
Yeah.
I would say that like because Serendib fits nicely under a Psyblast and it does damage to the controller, like it's generally fine.
Yeah.
Like if I'm counter swinging with a lion, we're both taking 3 a turn, and that's generally okay.
And we have to ask, could you tell us about the jade statues?
I
So
love them.
curious.
I love them.
We love them.
I think it's great.
This is my Atlantic deck. It's actually Seth's Atlantic deck
All
from
right.
New York, sisters. And so like it usually comes in against like Blood Moon, but I honestly didn't tweak this deck very much for Swedish. I just took out 1 Fallen Empire card, and so I took out a Daralore and put it as a Suchi instead, and just didn't put more
Okay.
Suchis in the sideboard. But ever since I made that mistake, a lot of people have sort of come to defend it that like it doesn't die to sorcery speed removal, and you can't blast it.
Yeah, the 6
Or
toughness. It's good.
yeah, it's not unrelevant, but it is mana
No.
intensive. I only brought it in throughout the Derby in 1 match where somebody had Blood Moon, and it was
All
fine.
right.
But honestly, should have been something else.
No. Keep it. I love them. At least keep 1 in.
We love them.
It's nice. I
Yeah.
like it. So thank you very much for showing your skills on the channel. And Rob, congratulations, man, to the top.
Hey, thanks. Great little game, Parker. That was like a nail biter right till the
Yeah.
end there. It was wild. It was just like bomb after bomb after bomb.
All the restricted cards. Yeah, that was crazy.
Rob, you're lucky you're likable because I'd be
Thanks,
so
buddy.
mad.
It's a good
Well,
good
as I
skill
said
to
at
have
the
if you
end
play
too,
those
right?
decks, that you need to be like.
I said at the end, man, if you want to take it back, that's totally fine, right? With the
Yeah,
attack, totally fine. And I think because I had the second Sarah, I think
it wasn't going to change anything. Like I would have maybe had 1 turn. I did look. It was my top card was a Demonic Tutor, but the balance was already used, so it'd have to be like DT for Twister and hope that I came back around to the balance because I'm not playing like Regrow or Recall or any of that stuff.
That's why I kept asking him, like, balance is in your yard, right? Balance is in your yard, right?
Yeah.
That's a scary
Uh,
card when you're ahead. Yeah, if your opponent has
Yeah,
that.
but every time I balanced, you discarded your balance. So
I
it was
know.
like just whenever.
And another powerful card followed up, whether it was a Brain Geyser or a Mind Twist.
So many
Unbelievable.
ancestral recalls, so many tutors. Crazy.
Also,
Yeah, that I think it was game 3. I'll have to look back at the replay now. I think it was the 3rd game there where my line was literally like, he disenchants my Sapphire. I'm like, save my Sapphire so that I can Demonic Tutor to throw an Ancestral in his upkeep into his counterspell so I can cast this Mind Twist that's in my hand.
all right.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Interesting. Interesting.
Hey,
But
thank you guys very
it was
much, and thanks to everybody on the stream. And see you guys next time. I'm just gonna.
And good luck in the semis, Rob, against
Thank you.
Alexander.
Thank
I
you.
think
He was my only loss, actually, if it's the same Alexander.